I'm the Philosopher King 2.0. I'm going to talk about Kinesis. Kinesis is a crypto exchange of sorts that is backed by physical gold on a one-to-one allocation. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, because the question is, can we truly trust that if they say that they have the gold in their vaults, that they really do? We've heard of exchanges being, well, there's, the crypto universe right now has been rocked by a couple problems with exchanges, right? So I have a review of Kinesis that I posted I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And I go through my onboarding process, and I show a little bit more, of the dashboard and the background, and I'll show some of that stuff too here as I go. But I think that in our world right now, there's a real concern about whether or not, well, if the economy could collapse, or what's going to be actually of value at any given time. And gold is one of those things that has been regarded as currency forever and ever. And the problem with gold, however, is that, if you take it physically, of course, then you got to store it somewhere. You have to keep it safe, and it's really more of almost a store of value at this point, rather than something that you can use in your day to day. And what I liked about Kinesis from that point of view is that it came with a card, like a credit card type thing, that was tied directly to your Kinesis account, so that you could basically buy your gold with Kinesis and store it there, but then you could use your card to make purchases out of your gold. So it seems like a really sweet deal. Unfortunately, one of the things that is a problem right now is that that feature appears to exist only overseas, and it's only been promised for the United States. And that was one of the selling features, and that's been a disappointment. But supposedly it's coming. So that's kind of an update on my review. But it still begs the question, is the gold actually there? So they sent out notice of an audit being submitted. And here's the Kinesis webpage that we're looking at right here. And you can see that January 2023, there is it's right on their website. You can check it out. I have previously examined one of these audits before. Pretty dry material. So let me just give the summary of what the audit says. And to do that, let me pull up a picture of the audit, because I did. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? I have it here somewhere. And yet I do not see it. All right, where'd you go? It's kind of annoying. Oh, I know where it is. Sorry about that. I had to restart my computer, and so now I can't find the source, but we'll be able to get it now here. Give me just 1 second here. We'll get this fixed up properly. There we go. And here we go. Sorry about that. We'll just put that over there like that. So there's what it looks like. I see that blocking my head, but you don't care about that too much, do you? But just out of principle, let's bring me up to the top. or not. Okay, so there is our summary right there. We find out the name of who did the inventory report. It was ABX. I'll talk about them here in a minute. And the report was presented to the Inspectorate International for their independent audit. So basically, the ABE determined that the gold was there, and then this Inspectorate International made sure that all the numbers added up. So here is the summary, and I'm just going to read this here. Actually, I see that it's very similar to what I received by email is very similar to what's on here. So I'll it's just a little bit different. No, you can just read it. It's almost exactly the same thing. In fact, the real takeaway here is actually not it's not on here. Let me just see here. So the summary statement, which is not on this first page here, and the first page is almost exactly the same as what I have in the email, but it says the independent audit verifies that each KAU and KAG, that's like the gold tokens, within the Kinesis monetary system is backed by an exact one-to-one allocated quantity of physical gold and silver bullion. That's the conclusion of the audit. So I looked at one of the previous audits, and it said basically that same conclusion, and that was one of the reasons why I went with it. So I don't know about you, but the problem is how do you verify that, right? So unless you actually go physically and check it out, you can't really know, except for based on the reputation of these companies. So I'm just going to pull up these companies real quick as web pages, and you can kind of check it up. You can look it up yourself, of course. But basically, what it comes down to is you can trust Kinesis if you can trust these companies. Okay, so let's get rid of that. And now let me get, first we'll start with ABX. Oops. Come on now. Behave. There it is. So there you go. That's the ABX website. And, then you can go and you can check out all the stuff that they say about themselves. Click on the FAQ here. So, seems to be reputable. Okay, so that's ABX. And then when I search for the other one, it basically redirects to, I'll show you this one. Just 1 second. Okay, that should pop up here in just a second. There we go. Oh, what have I done? My bad. We'll have it fixed now. There we go. So, and I checked them over and they seemed reputable as well, which, we're trusting these people. So do your own due diligence, as they say. But just to give you an idea of what this audit looks like, if you wanted to go through it here, make this a little bit bigger for you. There we go. Let me just scroll through here so you get a taste of it. So each location has, it tells you how many gold bars are there and silver bars. And then it gives some details, goes on and on and on. This one has a mention about an anomaly. Let's see if it maybe doesn't. No anomalies there. And it's just going to keep doing that all the way through. So, I mean, that, that's encouraging. And this is why I'm sticking with Kinesis. So, according to Kinesis, and it's kind of like Sprott in this regards, if you have a certain quantity, you can also withdraw the physical gold if you wanted. And that was important to me too, to be able to have that option. So that my problem is, and as I explained in my other video about Kinesis, gold is a store of value. That's great. It's going to be great for inflation. But I'm planning for the possibility where I'm actually going to need to use these in real life. And, if you go to the grocery store with a gold bar, they're not going to be able to give you change. You know what I mean? So I like silver for that. And if we can get this gold credit debit card, as it were, working, that would allow me to access the gold. But then theoretically, if it all hits the fan, I can go cash out my account with Kinesis and get the physical gold. So that's important to me. Let me show you just a few pictures of the back end and the background of the video as I talk a little bit more. These are images that were in the other review. So this is, you may have seen this before, but if you have not seen anything about Kinesis before and you are interested in learning more, you can kind of read those as I talk more. So there were two downsides so far to Kinesis, two big downsides, and I already talked about one. The one that would be that they don't have a debit card issued in America yet, so that you can draw off your gold bank account, which is available elsewhere in other countries. That is. But one of the other things that bothers me is that it's really not easy to get my U.S. currency into the Kinesis accounts. I have to use a bank wire, which, I mean, I guess it's not the end of the world. I've done bank wires before, but TD Ameritrade makes it super easy to do a deposit or a withdrawal for that matter. And, I like that ease. That's that convenience. So that is a problem. I had to, I decided not to do the wire. I actually bought a cryptocurrency on another exchange and transferred that to my Kinesis wallet and then cashed that out for the KAU so that I would have gold with Kinesis. and then you get a little bit of their KAU as a reward for sharing in the transaction fees or something or another. So that's kind of a convoluted way of going about things. So I really hope that they fix that. I have not yet tried to withdraw cash from Kinesis, but if it's as annoying as depositing it through an American bank account with like a wire or something, wire transfer, that's not going to make me too happy. But I can always convert it to some other cryptocurrency and transfer it to some other place where I can more easily withdraw it, something like Uphold, maybe. So those are the two things that the drawbacks that I don't like right now: the debit card issue and the difficulty, or we'll say just the lack of ease, from my point of view, of getting money into it. Now the upside is that once these things are taken care of, especially that debit card, that should work internationally, and I'm pretty sure it's going to ease a lot of the problems of currency exchanges and things of that sort. So I'm really looking forward to having that, along with the other advantages I've already talked about, being able to withdraw the actual physical gold if we want. So it's a nice compromise, in my opinion. It's looking good so far. There was one technical hiccup that did cause me concern, though. And I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I could not log into my Kinesis account. And I was not the only one who had that problem. The forums had people discussing it. It took 2 or 3 days for that to get fixed. And that's not good, right? How can that be good? That's not good. It wasn't everyone, but it was a fair number. And I did send a support request and did not get a reply, so I don't like that either. But other people did, so I'm assuming that they were slammed. And they did post something on their forums saying that they are aware of it, that kind of thing. So that about covers it for now. I plan on putting some more money into it here soon. I'll probably use the bank wire, and I'll experiment a little bit more with the mechanics of it. They do have a referral program, which is kind of nice. Both, like if you use my referral link, and I meet the qualifications, and you meet the qualifications, then we're each going to get like a half an ounce of silver or something like that. But I don't know. This is one of my complaints, which I talked about in the other review. I mean, basically the transaction fees. Basically they're just reimbursing your transaction fees with that silver. So I'm by all means, please use my referral link if you're interested in doing this. At least we're going to get something back. But I think they could sweeten that pot a little bit more. So I'm going to wrap this up by talking about some of these slides real quick. Just getting organized here real quick for a second. Okay, here we go. I see this is getting to be almost 20 minutes long. So there's the dashboard. That's if you want to go Bitcoin to gold. I'm just kind of go through these slides real quick. The KAU is a digital currency, and it's backed on a one-to-one basis. That's what these audits are proving or showing and demonstrating. And so your trust depends on whether or not those places are legit, and they seem to be. You see the reference to the Kinesis card, not apparently available in America yet. Kinesis already has an agreement with Indonesia, which is kind of nice. I mean, that's also adds to the credibility of it, right? Back at that day, I don't remember what the day it was. That was the going rate of a cow. That's what I call it. And you see that you get some rewards for your transactions. Oh yeah, one nice thing was that says, can't read it. Kinesis actually called me after I signed up. They called and I talked to a rep for about 15 minutes. That was nice. Here's the rewards program there. You can go back and pause that if you want. So, got to be getting close to the end of this slideshow here. You're getting a look at the dashboard. So I do recommend it. I think it has some things that it can fix or improve. But for what's out there, Sprott is okay, I think, but you can't trade. Sprott isn't going to let you draw off of your gold, physical gold, through a card, which is what this promises to do. And Sprott doesn't let you transfer your funds out through other cryptocurrencies. All right, so I'm just going to wrap this up, I guess. 20 minutes now. I'm the Philosopher King 2.0. If you want to support the channel, check out my fun site, solipsismsociety.org, and maybe sign up for a lifetime membership in the Solipsism Society. Like and subscribe. And if you like the content on my channel, by all means, share it. That's how these things tend to happen, word of mouth. But I'm going to call it a night right now. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far. And leave questions or comments if you've got them. This is Philosopher King 2.0 signing out for the evening. Have a good one.